actually quite hard to determine who is the most over wrestler in the world right now, because if we go to New Japan, they are still struggling with the effects of pandemic, so when Okada comes out, brand new heavyweight champion Okada, he gets this. And I'm sure in any other reality, people go, oh my God, it's Okada. Well, I've already made my point. But we shall continue on anyway, because it is a bunch of fun. So hello, yes, my name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you for joining me today. And we came together and we voted on it. And this is the 10 most over wrestlers in the world right now. Number 10, Bobby Lashley. Now this all comes down to the career reinvention that Bobby Lashley has had recently, because let's just go through his 2021. He was a great WWE champion. He main evented a bunch of events, and then when we get into 2022, if you are watching it when the video goes live, he is about to have a Royal Rumble main event match with Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. And I don't care who you are, I think that's pretty damn exciting. Also, when he does come out on Raw these days, I completely buy him as a top tier caliber athlete. And when WWE was trying to do that way back in 2006 or whatever it was, I didn't buy into it then, but now, ooh dalali, I just think he's great. And you can go through any part of his run, be it WWE or TNA or whatever the hell you want to say, and this is Bobby Lashley at his peak. And I know that if I was live there in the audience, I would be screaming for the man. He rocks. Number 9, Hook. Now this one is going to drive everybody crazy because you're not allowed to say nice things about Hook to a certain proportion of the audience. You're like, it's too soon, it's too soon. I could be dead tomorrow and Hook has wonderful hair. I am enjoying it today. But you can't deny it. I mean, he has basically made AEW Rampage his show. And if you actually go look at analytics and numbers and people tuning in, when they know that Hook is on the screen, they grab their remote controls, they click in and probably go, man, that's a good looking tomato. He's also a badass in the ring, plus you have this emotional story in the sense he's Taz's son, and I am really intrigued to see what he does in 2022, and I know I get it, we need to see him in longer matches, but put your hands up if you're betting against Hook right now. My hand goes down, and maybe if I continue to be really nice to him, I'll get to meet him one day. Can you imagine that selfie? Number 8, Britt Baker. I mean, just go back to when she was in her hometown. The noise she got as she walked down the aisle, I don't care who you are, that was a superstar reaction. She also got a shout out by CM Punk, which was not planned, but her name came into his head when he was cutting a promo, and that's because she has become basically the face of AEW Women's Division. And it all started way back when we were on the boat with Chris Jericho and she started teasing Tony Schiavone about being a Starbucks guy. I mean, this journey is incredible and goes to show, invest in somebody, give it time, and if they've got the cojones, they will rise to the top. She's also the AEW Women's Champion right now, and while there are other contenders that you'd be like, oh man, yeah, I get why they do have the belt, you'd still put Britt Baker in that number 1 position. Her in-ring work is also just terrific right now, and go and just check out anytime her music hits. Like it starts with that kind of a noise. Everybody goes crazy because they want to see a little bit of DMD. I shouldn't have done it, I'm very sorry. Number 7, Adam Cole. And this kind of ties into what we were just talking about, because as soon as Adam Cole's music hits, just go and look at the people in the stands. They all go crazy like a bomb just went off. It also happens again when he gets to the ring and does the whole boom, because everybody loves Adam Cole, even though they're also happy to boo him because they understand he's a heel. And I'm sorry, this is only happening because of the adoration people have for the man. He has taken everybody and slipped him into his back pocket. Even if this wasn't happening week in, week out, I would still put him in this list, because when he made his debut, I honestly thought my neighbors were gonna come round and yell at me, because obviously I was watching it at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and even I started going, oh, it's Adam Cole, and this is just the start. He's gonna turn babyface soon, and he will become the champion. We're gonna have to soundproof this place, because I don't think I'm gonna get away with it again. Number 6, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is absolutely one of the best women wrestlers that is around today, and probably one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. And because of this, she has got this fan base that will just stick by her thick and thin, and I actually really respect and appreciate that, but not those crazies. There's a few people that even if you say, oh, I didn't enjoy that arm drag that Sasha Banks did, they go absolutely nuts. Sometimes it's okay to say constructive things. But this has been going on since NXT, and really, if you do go through Banks' WWE run, she has never dropped the ball. Like, she was a great NXT champion, she was a great SmackDown and Raw champion. Admittedly, she didn't hold it for very long, but that's not her fault. And whether she's a babyface or whether she's a heel, she's still able to have this connection with the fans. And given that she's only like 28, 29 years old, she could have a run that goes on for another 20 years and always is having people go crazy like this. And I can't think of many other people that did it. I mean, there's a Hulk Hogan, there's a John Cena, but Sasha Banks, I tell you, the boss, she is something very special, and I don't think we even know the half of it. Number 5, Hangman Adam Page. Now, this is when people are going to start to melt down, but remember the name of this list. I am not saying this is the most over wrestlers ever. I am talking about the most over wrestlers right now. And sure, Hangman Adam Page does get good reactions as he's the champion, but the reason he has just kind of emoted towards the audience is because we saw a man fall, and we saw a man get back up again, and we saw the man climb up the ladder. I don't know about you, but it made me feel all warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum. He also went through a bunch of things that were totally relatable, which meant when he did you were like, oh no, Hangman, I understand why you did do that, but you really shouldn't have done. And this is kind of the character development you expect from a movie, and not necessarily with wrestling. It also started about 3 years ago and only culminated at the end of 2020. And every time I see the cowboy now, I'll be honest with you, it feels like watching a friend be really successful at what they do. And I've never met him, and now, of course, I'm never going to, because if ever he does hear this, he'll be like, man, that's Simon Miller, he a stalker, but I promise I'm not. I just think you're great. Number 4, MJF. Another one that comes down to sheer noise. Who has more heat at the moment than Maxwell Jacob Friedman? The answer is nobody. I mean, it's got to the point that when he is on TV, I have to watch those segments. And even if there was a reason I couldn't watch Dynamite, I'd go on YouTube, I'd watch a highlight show, I would go out of my way to find some clips, because you never know what he's gonna say, and that has resulted in him being damn over. It also comes down to the fact that in 2022, it is really hard to develop legitimate boos, because we all know what's going on, so even when someone is playing the villain, you're like, well, I can see through this, but not with MJF. He knows how to push your buttons, and my word, he's so good at this. So his act is phenomenal, and he does this whether he's in the ring or whether he's on social media or whether he sat there at a signing table and a kid comes up to him. There's a picture on the internet of him just flipping a child off, and you just know it's not the first time he's done it. He's only like 24 years old as well, so can you imagine how good he's going to be in his mid-30s? In many ways, I don't want to see it, because it's just going to make me disappointed in myself. Number 3, Brock Lesnar. Recently, on another video here on What Culture Wrestling, I said that Brock Lesnar is one of the best wrestlers of all time, and I'm going to double down on it now. He is flubbing fantastic. And he also gets a legitimate superstar response no matter what show he's on. He's on Raw, people love him. He's on SmackDown, people love him. Anytime you see Brock Lesnar, he comes across like the end-of-level boss in WWE, and it just never wanes. In fact, I actually think it's going up. He doesn't make any sense. He also improves TV ratings, he sells a bunch of merchandise, and even though some people are like, oh, I don't want to see him be the world champion again, he always feels like he could be, which is basically the holy grail for any single wrestler. It means you don't have to have the belt, but people somewhere will go, is he the champion? Maybe he is. So he's not a novelty. He's a megastar, and he has proven it over the last 20 years. He also appeals to mainstream fans, because I have a bunch of people that don't watch wrestling, but they know Brock Lesnar's name. And now we are doing this list. Really, he probably could have been number 1. Number 2, Roman Reigns. And it's also kind of the same for the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And I know we had all that stuff back in the day, but that's in the past now. But all you need to know is anytime his entrance music hits on SmackDown, you have thousands of people that are like, yes, we get to see Roman. He is finally in that position WWE always wanted. And I know that he has been pushed there, but Roman is more than holding his own right now, to the point that you can actually start to hear some cheers, and that's always what happens when you are a really good bad guy. People want to start supporting you. He too is a guy that will guarantee you get more people to come to the house shows, and more people will tune into your television shows. And don't forget, that's what WWE is. How many times do you hear people go, it's a business, over and over again, and when it comes to metrics, having Reigns involved with your promotion means the numbers go that way, and that's the way you want them to go. Number 1, CM Punk. I mean, all you have to do is go through all his rating numbers, and I know ratings can get really boring, especially when you're talking to some wrestling fans, but when he arrived on AEW Rampage, he basically broke the scale. And it wasn't just that either. He generated chat all over the place, including my casual wrestling fans going, oh my gosh, CM Punk is back. And even the YouTube video of his debut absolutely blew up. I mean, Tony Khan must have been sat backstage going, it doesn't matter how much I'm paying him, he's already worthwhile. And we haven't even talked about merch yet, which broke Pro Wrestling Tease's website and shattered all of their records, and all Punk did is walk to the ring, and this is mostly because CM Punk is great. I even know certain individuals that just tune into AEW for his segment because they're such CM Punk fans, and if you don't think that is a super duper star, then I'm not sure what else we need to bring to the table. I mean, he really, really is doing it all. Do you know any other people that should have been on this because they are so over? Make sure you let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Then head over to whatculture.com where you can read articles like this with your eyes. Make sure you come say hello, not like that, on social media. And we have a ton of other videos. Just watch one. That's all I'm asking. My name is Simon for What Culture. Thank you very much for watching me, and always, and you'd never know this, but right now, I'm on one leg, and I can go on the other leg, and now you're probably saying, why are you doing this, Simon? Well, we do a lot of videos, and it's fun to end them a little bit differently. I don't know. This is why my parents don't talk to me anymore. Goodbye.